Hi, friends. I have a word, and this is not for everyone. This is for those who have been mishandled severely and who have been standing on the promises of God for over a decade for a promise God made to you, and you have already been tested for the word of the Lord, like Joseph. Joseph's family mishandled him severely, but the day came when God himself turned things around for Joseph. So we have to trust God to vindicate us in every situation where we've been mishandled. He was mishandled in the workforce. He was mishandled in the family, in the home. He was abused. People exalted themselves over him and abused their power. Now I'm talking to somebody here. He was also falsely accused, which caused him to spend a long time in prison. And he actually used his gifts in the prison to help and serve others, and he gave God all the glory. These are keys. One thing we see is that everywhere Joseph went, people abused their power over him. Is this message for you? The truth is, the very people who abused him, well, God's got a great sense of humor, because it turned out that they ended up needing him in the time of famine and need. You know, God will use the most unlikely people to confound the wise. That's what he loves to do. Hear this. God keeps accurate records. Stay humble. Remain faithful to do whatever God tells you to do wherever you are, no matter how small and insignificant it may seem. Be a good and faithful servant, and trust the Lord, and give God all the glory, because he will turn things around at the perfect moment. That prison was the springboard that would launch Joseph into the palace. And things can change very, very quickly when you've been standing in faith for the promises of God for more than a decade. There can be an overnight turnaround, a launching into the promise of God. So don't give up, and keep doing the Father's will, and keep being a good and faithful servant and encouraging others, and keep speaking the truth, and keep doing whatever God has told you to do. Keep decreasing, keep dying to self, keep letting God increase. Don't give up. From his family to his home to the workforce, people with pride and selfish agendas abused their power in Joseph's life and mishandled him. God doesn't take that lightly. It may seem like everybody's getting away with this stuff, but I promise you, the day is coming when you will know that God is saying, no, he's going to step in. God did not leave Joseph under the power of abusers, of people with selfish agendas. He didn't leave him under their authority and power forever. That season came to an end. Do you know why Joseph had to go through such an incredible testing like that? Because if a person has not been through God's training process, God's refining process, and they're going to be raised up to a great position of leadership. You know, you see a lot of narcissistic people who are not good leaders, good rulers. They're more like a dictator than a good leader. Continue to serve faithfully wherever you are. Use the gifts God's given you. Even if it seems really insignificant what he's telling you to do, just do it. Obey him. And give him all the glory. Don't seek attention for yourself. Don't try to draw people to yourself. Point them to him. Give him all the glory, because he is the one who will change your story. Praise God. And one of my favorite Bible verses, Genesis 50, verse 20. But as for you, you meant it for evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring it about as it is to this day, to save many lives. To save many people alive. See, God always has everybody in mind, and he has a much bigger picture than we can even imagine. So I encourage you today, don't you give up. Believe. Believe God is going to change your story. He will. He's faithful. God bless you, friends.